Hello, welcome to the first episode of Holte End Talk with myself, Jordan. We've also got Seb and Luke here today. This is going to be a weekly podcast in which we discuss all things Claret Blue. And the first episode will consist of yesterday's game where we lost 4-1 to Liverpool in the third round of the FA Cup. A brilliant effort, we thought, by our under-23s and under-18s combined. We'll also discuss the coronavirus outbreak at Bodymoor Heath and the possible postponement of the game against Tottenham Hotspur in next week's fixture and possibly against Everton as well. Right.
Yeah.
Right
so last night's game with Louis Barry, coming straight to the team, 17 years old. It's quite mental to think that a lad that's younger than us, scoring against the champions of England is quite mental. He had quite a good performance, I thought.
Yeah, I do agree with that. His goal was very well taken. I mean, like you said, of a lad of 17 to come in such a big game for the first team, and with only probably 24 hours notice, and to have composure like that to take his only, obviously it was the only effort in the game we had on target, but still to take it was very good.
I think for a while now. Oh, sorry, Seb. I think for a while now, as Villa fans, we've known Louis Barry as potential, especially signing from Barcelona's youth side for I think just under €1 million. I think we've known for a while now that he will become a great player for Villa. And as he's mentioned in his post-match interview yesterday, he said he's a huge Villa fan. His family are as well. So you can see signs of a younger Jack Grealish, really. Grew up being a Villa fan. He started in the FA Cup and he's shown how good he can be as a Villa player when he's growing up. And it's where Jack Grealish really showed his potential as well when he played Liverpool in the FA Cup final, the semi-final, sorry.
Yeah, it's the magic of the cup. It's the magic of the cup, really. 17 years old, couple more years in the academy, and then he'll be going on loan to somewhere in League Two, League One, probably. Have a good breakout season there, like Grealish did at Notts County, and then getting his first game under Tim Sherwood at Villa. I feel like under Dean Smith, in a few years' time, whether he's still here, hopefully he is, Barry can be one of the best players that we'll see after Grealish.
I mean, there's talks I've seen on Twitter and other social media platforms that some people are saying they reckon Barry to take over from Davis. Because obviously they said Davis, he's not prolific in front of goal. Yes, he holds the ball up, he's got pace, he's got strength, but we need that killer instinct to come off the bench to finish games off. Look at the games we lost this season, Brighton, West Ham, and we just haven't had that. Burnley where we drew. We just didn't have that killer instinct to put the ball in the back of the net. And possibly we could have found it in a very well-taken goal yesterday by one of our own, Louis Barry.
Like how Man United, they have Mason Greenwood who comes on in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game and gets a bit of action, causes a bit of havoc. You just need a young, energetic player, and that's exactly what Barry is. Whereas Keenan Davis, 2 goals in 4 years, isn't it now? He came in under Steve Bruce, when we had that massive injury crisis up front, and that's when fans liked him because he held the ball up well. And compared to Codger, considering he didn't have as many goals, he was good and he had the opportunities, but unfortunately, Keenan Davis is his time is either up or he's got to go on loan and find some form there. He's been linked with Stoke and a number of other Championship clubs.
I think a loan would do Keenan a world of good, to be fair, because he's still a young striker and he does need some goals to boost his confidence, really. Because I think he's a good player. I think he really is, and he does have potential there. But he just needs that confidence on loan, whether like you said, Stoke, to score a few goals, and might just boost him up a bit. But at the moment, he just can't seem to score at all, really, can he? Because like you said, 2 goals in 4 years.
Yeah, I do agree with that. He's a good player. But in the Championship, we can get away with not scoring as many goals. Like you said, his hold-up play was good. And in the Championship, we had players that were better than the Championship, like your Grealish, McGinn, that would run onto him and finish the ball for him. But obviously in the Premier League, you need a striker that is going to come off the bench and score you at least 7, 8 goals. Obviously, we've got Watkins to start. Hopefully, he'll get us our 15, 20 goals. But you still need someone to come off the bench with that killer instinct to put games to bed. And Keenan Davis doesn't seem to be that bloke. But possibly
with Wesley nearing fitness, Wesley's about 6 to 8 weeks away, I've seen, from making a return to the first team matchday squad. I feel a striker, if we do let Keenan Davis out, whether it is bring Barry up to the first team for a few games on the bench, or bring in someone on cheap from like Europe somewhere. I don't know where we'll find that firepower from.
The thing is, as we've done that too many times now, we've come in with late strikers and they haven't produced. I mean, we've been absolutely robbed of loads of strikers. McCormack, he could do it in Championship, couldn't do it for us. Couldn't even open the gate, let alone play football. Scott Hogan, he's out Blues doing whatever he's doing. We've had loads of these strikers. Baston, he's come in, he played.
Baston and Samatta.
That's what I mean. They've come in, they've played games, and we've got them in panic ball. Now we've got Watkins, okay. He's not scoring as many goals people are saying that he should be, but I mean, he's scored a few. His play off the ball is second to none. And although he's not chipping in with goals, the 3 goals against Palace took 3 assists, so his goal involvement's still there.
And Watkins is an instrumental part in like Dean Smith's like high pressing intensity, like tactics we've had compared to last season. We're a completely different side. Even though we played with our under 18s and 23s last night, I feel like they played with a similar style that Dean Smith tries to implement with the first team. So we've got a long way to go. But
after the focus, obviously we spoke about that, and it's all about Villa, but we've taken the focus away from Barry. But yeah, definitely, I think he is a very bright spot for the future. Whether he has a season away from the club, or whether we bring him in and just bring him in through us, however it's going to learn. But I think, like you said, the way we played last night and the way Barry pressed and the way the youngsters did press last night, I think he'll learn a lot from Watkins in that sense, which will help him a lot.
I think another great player who showed great potential as well yesterday was Callum Rowe.
Yeah,
Callum Rowe, he looked very good as well.
That ball through to Louis Barry was a class ball.
I think all of our defence yesterday played really well, especially against a team like Liverpool. You know, Mungo Bridge, Dominic Revan.
I think a massive shout out to Dom Revan. He's come in, he's been captain, and not only is he stuck by the captain. I mean, I know we conceded 4, but if you look at the goal scorers, you've got Salah, Mane, and Wijnaldum. They'll score against. That's what I mean. They'll score against Premier League outings week in, week out. But Dom Revan's come in, captain, in such a big occasion to take that leadership, and him and Bridge together did look very good.
Big up Wensbury boy. Big up Wensbury. No, but like to see Dom play, as for me anyway, knowing him personally as well, it's great to see him play, especially captain a team that we both love. You know, he's supported Villa since I've known him. I remember him making the bench against Middlesbrough and West Brom under Dean Smith when he just came in.
Yeah.
He did. He started on the bench, didn't he? When we shut defenders out, like Millie Yedinak in centre back.
James Chester, our only.
But to see him captain yesterday was amazing. It was really good, and he just showed why he is the captain of our academy. So,
and the goalkeeper last night as well.
Oh, sorry, go on.
So the goalkeeper last night, Akos Anodi, he was quite good considering, you know, he's 18 and quite nimble compared to other goalkeepers. That double save he made where he saved it and it looked like it was going in, but it just went out. He played really well. There's definitely potential in a number 1 there in the next 5 years or so.
I mean, when we're comparing him to people like Nyland and Kalinic, can you get much worse?
Exactly.
Obviously we've got Emmy at the minute, but still, look at our recent keepers. You can't get much worse anyway.
Yeah, we've had a bad run of keepers, haven't we, recently?
Yeah.
We haven't had a good one since Shea Given, in my opinion, other than now Emmy Martinez.
He's superb, really. His first game, he saved a penalty, didn't he?
Against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
It's mad. Over the years, there's been absolute shites. Kalinic.
We should do a ranking of all our keepers we've had over the years and just rank them.
Oh, mate.
Not in this episode, just do another one.
No.
But yeah,
I would put Jed Steer up there for what he did in the playoffs, to be honest. Yeah. He's a great player.
One player that went under the radar, I know apparently he did get man of the match, but we haven't spoke about him, is Kessler. He looks like something that it could be really good. I mean, he just did the dirty work in midfield, that goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
He's wow. Obviously, we've got Douglas Luiz who does it in the first team, and I know he started to get loads of praise, but still, I still believe that Douglas Luiz is one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League.
Definitely. like it's hard to stand out in this Villa midfield because each player is as good as each other, and like if one has a good game and the others have like two brilliant games, the guy that just underperforms compared to them, but he still does like the hard tackles and wins the ball, and he plays an instrumental part. So
I think as a whole, yesterday we've got to give them credit. Like they played so professionally that our youth side. To come under like so much pressure because like they didn't think they was going to be playing against Liverpool, did they? And it's just like they showed up and just played the way they did was just incredible.
Yeah. Although we set up a lot of pressure though, for 60 minutes we went toe to toe with the Premier League champions, and it's not like they played a very good side. I mean, we looked at it and I was discussing with Palomine. We looked at it compared to the Wolves team. The Wolves team lost 4-0, and other than Firmino and Matip, they were the only two that didn't start, but still for Minamino to come in. Obviously, Williams coming at centre back, that is a big loss compared to Matip. Obviously, the boy
Williams was kind of at fault for Barry's goal, really, because Barry muscled past him. And
he put his arm up as soon as Barry scored, I saw that after the he put his arm up. I was thinking, why are you putting your arm up? Like, I just didn't what he was doing.
Yeah. But then we also noticed, like you say, we held it toe-to-toe for 60 minutes with them. It shows the physicality, like the golfing class, because they're obviously 17, 18, and they're playing against Mane and Salah and Henderson and Wijnaldum. So it's going to be quite hard for an 18-year-old to come in and last 90 minutes against that opposition.
Still, though, I know we're saying about the fact that Liverpool played their strong side and that, but still, that's a credit to our under-18s. Klopp could have come out and said, we will play our reserves as well. Well, I mean, I thought he was going to, considering all of his moaning about fixture congestion and that. But you can't be moaning when you're going to play Salah and Mane starting against a bunch of kids.
Yeah, you can't moan again. You can't moan again after.
Nah, but still, it's a credit. It's a very big credit to our reserve team.
Well, so far this season, it's Villa 8, Liverpool 6. They've still got 2 goals to overturn in the away leg when we go to Anfield in the Premier League again. So,
and there's the first episode jinx where we get battered out of the field.
With the coronavirus outbreak, sorry, sir. We play Tottenham Wednesday. Do you think that will happen?
Surely not.
I can't see that happening. No.
I mean, people are saying that you've managed to field a team against Liverpool, but the FA Cup compared to the Prem, I mean, yeah, okay, we're doing well in the Prem. We didn't expect to be as high as we was. We didn't expect to be doing as well as we was. But you can't tell us that we've got to field an under-18 and under-23 outfit against Spurs in a Prem team. The Cup is one round. I understand the FA have come out and they've said there's fixture congestion. We can't postpone it. 2 Prem teams. Fair enough, but you can't do it in the Prem, surely. I mean, we've had Newcastle postponed for them. So if the rules
still got Man City to play as well.
That's what I mean. I mean, that was because of Europe, but if other teams can get games postponed because of a coronavirus outbreak in their camp, then surely we can.
I think the Premier League have got to do. I think the Premier League have got to do something about it though. Like the whole games being postponed. Like if it's not just us, it'll be affecting Tottenham as well. It'll be their 3rd game postponed as well. And I think the higher numbers of cases that are being shown in the Premier League and the Football League, I think they've just got to do something about it.
Do you think we should have a 2-week circuit break or something, just so the cases cool down, or carry on playing football?
Would it cool down after 2 weeks?
No, hard one, isn't it?
It's just they need to do something about it though, because like can't keep having postpones. And like with the Euros as well this year, they've got to do something. They've got to finish.
It's vital that the season has to be finished, because the Northern Premier League in the non-league, which is the step below National League North and South, they've null and voided their whole season. So some teams like Mikulova, they're top of the Northern Premier League, and that season's wiped out. So it's quite hard now for them clubs. And like the fixture congestion, it wouldn't be possible to like play out the rest of the season. So hopefully the Premier League gets finished.
Especially with the Euros as well this year. Well, if they carry on, if they do it this year, but I think
you've got to give a sufficient break for those going to the Euros and finishing the league.
Yeah.
And then I also saw Rob Dorsett said that our COVID outbreak is worse than Newcastle and what Fulham had as well. So I think we had, was it 10 first team players test positive, and then a number of staff. Yeah. So that is quite bad. And obviously they've got to have the isolation period for 10 days.
I might be being stupid here, but like, aren't footballers in their own bubble? So how's the outbreak? Am I being stupid there?
Because I've seen Leicester, they've moved into their training ground, their players or something. So
they're in the bubble, yeah, but still you've got travelling to and from the ground, and then obviously they've got their own football bubble, but they're not. Obviously, they are going to see like family and that. Yeah. So there is always that possibility of catching it, but
I blame Paul Pogba for it.
And then when they go to the shops and stuff like that, well, that's
as soon as we blame Paul Pogba for it.
When Grealish is out till 3 o'clock in the morning.
On the lash.
On the lash.
So plenty of positives to take from the Liverpool loss in the Cup. I mean, where do we see the rest of our Premier League season going from this January transfer window as well?
Hard to say at the minute. If you ask me at the end of January, once we've played Spurs, City, Everton, I know we're doing well. We've been on a good run, but these 4 or 5, obviously we've had Chelsea, had Man U, took a draw at Chelsea, got not even going to talk about the penalty against Man U. Not even going to talk about that. But
did you see when Luke Shaw got tackled and Paul Pogba told him to dive?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's disgraceful. But yeah, I mean, if Spurs, Everton, Man City, if we can come out of them games, obviously we've got Southampton as well. If we can come out of them games with 6 to 8 points, but no matter how many points we come out with, I still would like to see us finish top half as a minimum this season.
I mean, we've got no cup competitions either to focus on. So if we want to be playing in Europe and have that like little bit extra chance of attracting, better talent within Europe, European football is important to achieve this season if we want those type of players.
It's all about injuries. I mean, if we were to get a major injury to a Grealish and McGinn, someone like that, then we are going to be in trouble. But this is what January's about. If we can bring in a midfielder or someone that can, obviously we've coped with the injury of Barkley, but that's just because Al Ghazi has stepped up. And I mean, Traore has although he's been hit and miss, he has stepped up when we've needed him to.
Yeah. Traore's been a bit of a funny player as well. Like some games he's excellent, some games he's like non-existent and is like affects us really. But he is a player that could be really good for us as long as he learns how to use his other foot.
He goes missing in big games, I found. He had a great game against West Brom. He looked good against Crystal Palace, but you played against Man United, he did nothing. Against Chelsea, he wasn't tracking back. He goes missing in big games, which you can't have at the top level.
Like Seb said, he needs to learn to use both feet. Like you need, as a footballer, you need to use both feet. You can't just keep turning onto your left hand. You need to use your right foot as well.
The thing is, Al Ghazi can't use his left very well either.
His right foot is a rocket, though, as we know. He's got a beautiful right foot, that man. And then also with our first team defence, where do you see Mings coming in? Like, obviously, he was suspended and then came in and then was partially at fault for the goal at United, in my opinion. But I think Konsa and House is the way.
We had this discussion last night, didn't we? I think it was unfair on Horse to be dropped, to be honest with you. Because when Konsa came back from his illness, he was put on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But then when Mings has come back from suspension, he's gone straight back into the team, which is, I think, is a bit unfair for Horse. I think he's been playing really well this season so far.
See, I'm caught in 2 minds about that. Because obviously, like you say, House, he's been solid for us and that. But Mings is the leader at that back line. I know, obviously, Grealish got the armband, but he is the captain without the armband, really.
The voice, isn't
he is the. I know he does make mistakes. He's dodging the ball sometimes, but without his voice at the back, I do think we wouldn't have picked up as many points as we have.
Yeah.
He organises that back line better than anyone, and I think that's why he's been brought straight back in, because Smith knows his leadership qualities.
Definitely as well, yeah. I mean, John Terry's had a very key part this season because we had that break over in the first lockdown and the restart last season. Like, our defence improved massively, and then having that little bit of time off going into this season, our defence looks so good compared to last year. Like, Matty Cash, he's like one of the best English fullbacks in this playing in this country at the moment, I'd say.
At the minute, yeah, on form.
Yeah, on form, yeah.
But I still think, you may agree, you may disagree, I still think it's been unfair on Gilbert. I really liked him. I mean, obviously, he was out of favour. We had Al Mohammadi playing over him last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that game against Arsenal last season at home, you saw the passion he had for the club as well. And I think it's a shame, like, he's third in line for right back, isn't he? Which is a bit, I think, disrespectful and unfortunate as well. I think he's a great player, Gilbert. But yeah, Matty Cash I think he's unbelievable. What a signing.
Yeah. And the same with Engels as well. He's been a bit.
I think he'll go. I think he'll go in January.
Like Gilbert,
he should go. Wow.
Yes.
See, he come in, and him and Mings to start off with looked a great partnership, but Konsa's just come on so much. I personally believe that Konsa is our best centre back. I think he's better than Mings, but Mings, I think they complement each other as well, the way that they are. I mean, it's a hard one though, with, like you're saying, with Hawes, but I do think Mings and Konsa complement each other. Obviously, Mings is the voice, and Konsa, he can do anything.
I know you two aren't a big fan of him, but I think Matty Target has come on a lot this season as well.
I agree.
I think Matt Target is a very good player. I know he was a bit fragile last year.
Yeah,
like he'd get pushed off the ball very easily, but he has come on a lot this year.
Yeah,
he's definitely improved. Yeah, but the left back department is somewhere we need to improve quickly as well. Because Neil Taylor isn't exactly great cover, as much as I love the guy. Yeah. So.
Yeah, as Luke was saying there, with obviously you knew last season and that my feelings on Target, I wasn't his biggest fan. But this season he's gone from he was always solid, but he was always a solid 6 to 7 out of 10. Whereas this season he's got more 8.5 out of 10 every game. And I mean, Neil Taylor, I mean, the less said about him, the better. But great bloke, but he's not a Premier League football player, is he?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question as well, boys. What do you think, as a left back, who we should sign? Because you're saying that we need one. Personally, I'm saying Rico Henry. Get him in from Brentford.
Rico Henry.
Yeah, he's a good player. But like,
I mean,
might as well just sign the whole Brentford side at this rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're doing Liverpool with Southampton.
I was just about to say, yeah, Liverpool with Southampton.
But I watched him, was it Tuesday when Brentford and Tottenham played in the Carabao Cup semi-final?
Yeah.
And still then, obviously, he did look very good. But would he want to come to a Villa side where he's probably going to be second choice behind Target? Because it'd be unfair to bring him straight in. I know, obviously, him and Smith have a great relationship from their days at Walsall and then their days at Brentford.
It does also depend, though. Like, say Target picks up an injury, and then if we did sign Rico Henry and he comes in, he has a number of good games because of Target's theoretical injury. That could knock Target back out into second choice if we did bring him in. So
the only downfall of Rico Henry though is dirty blue nose, isn't he?
Yeah.
But if he puts in a good performance for it, we can look past that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I think we've covered plenty of topics in today's episode of Holte End Talk. So it's been a good start to life here on this channel, and we'll be looking to bring you plenty of more content weekly, match previews and then reports after the game, building up to the next week. So thank you guys.
Next week as well, I'm just going to put it out there on Twitter and Instagram. I was thinking about possibly doing a Q&A if you've got any questions. Obviously, it will lengthen it, and obviously, as you get to know more of us through each episode. So at the end of the next episode, if you've got any questions, we'll put one on the Instagram story and we'll put someone on Twitter, and then we'll answer your questions as well. Anything from Luke before we go?
Up the Villa.